I figured, since we haven't talked about GTA 6 in a hot minute, I figured it'd be a good time not to, because apparently, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to tank the industry. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do kind of want to figure it out. So here, let me show you. Let me show you. Come here. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to tank the industry by the YouTube channel Legendary Drops. So as always, links to their video, links to their channel, both in the description below. Be sure to check them out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your boy's trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Help your boy out. All right, let's get it.
How crazy things are about to get. You know, first we started off hearing, people have no idea how crazy things are about to get.
How crazy are things about to get?
First we started off hearing that Grand Theft Auto 6 could bring price hikes up to $100. Journalists and developers cheering it on. Yes, this is exactly what we need to have happen. Increase the prices. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Journalists and developers and analysts are saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 could very well be a threat to the entire industry. A game so successful and so disruptive that it could shut down entire studios and publishers. This is the most anticipated game of all time, and it could be the most successful game of all time, depending on how things go, and that could be a catalyst to an apocalypse of sorts. Something that's not just going to be felt by the initial release, but could very well freeze the entire industry for months before its release and after its release.
I mean, depending on how its release is, like, people could start to expect more out of games upon release. Because currently there's a lot of games that release that aren't really finished, or they're just complete trash, or it's just, they're pushing an agenda and it's a bunch of woke nonsense. So if Grand Theft Auto releases successfully and it like, obviously it'll do well. Like, if it releases successfully without any like bugs or glitches, if they actually finish the game and give us a full release game upon release, maybe with like an update for like a new map or some new missions like later on in the future. But if the first part of the game is finished, complete, and perfect, then people are going to that's going to be like the new set standard for all these other companies and all these other games that be coming out that are like half-assed and not completely ready. But also it'll be a huge win for us gamers if the price is like just $60 instead versus like $70, $80, $100. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably be like at least 70 probably. But if it was like 60 or 70, then the standard for it dropping at 100, we don't have to worry about that, especially with all these companies making these trash, incomplete games. But anyway, I digress.
We are going to see years of overpromising, under-delivering, and failing to listen catch up to a vast majority of this industry. They have failed to stay competitive. They have gotten complacent. And because of that, one game could bring the world down around them. One game. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the success of Grand Theft Auto. We're going to talk about the behemoth that it became, how it became that way, because we need to understand it to know what it's going to do next. Okay. We're going to talk about how Grand Theft Auto might be so successful, it's going to shut down studios for good. Every Grand Theft Auto launch has been a moment in gaming history.
That's a statement. It's so successful that it shuts down studios. I bet.
A release date, but a cultural flashpoint. GTA 3 launched back in 2001, and it changed everything, setting the blueprint for modern open world games by combining freedom, story, and chaos in a 3D city that truly felt alive. Funny enough, when Rockstar was trying to get funding for their new game, they approached Microsoft, who was preparing to launch the original Xbox, and they were looking for exclusives, but Microsoft actually turned them down, believing that there wasn't a market for something so...
Xbox rejected GTA 3 because it didn't think Rockstar could make it. A board of Microsoft execs weren't sold. When you purchase through the links on their site, blah, blah, blah. I don't want.
Controversial. And they doubted that Rockstar would even be able to pull it off. That game would then go on to sell 14.5 million copies.
Damn.
That's a number that AAA studios struggle to reach even today, let alone...
Best-selling game and video game in 2001. Real quick. how much did PlayStation games cost? Oops, in 2001. 50 times 14.5 million. 725 million. After all that, there, I finally figured they made 700. They made roughly $725 million off GTA 3 when it first came out.
Back in 2001.
Jeez.
Vice City built on that only a year later with a style over substance attitude that somehow still had both, and it reached 17 million copies sold. And then San Andreas in 2004 expanded the scope massively that it felt like an entirely new genre. They introduced layered systems, character customization, and a layer of exploration that few games have matched even decades later. Each entry didn't just succeed, it set a standard. But GTA's dominance wasn't just commercial, it was cultural. These games didn't just show up on the front page of gaming sites, they made headlines in mainstream news. Politicians were condemning them and celebrities were trying to get featured in them. It was one of the very few series where controversy actually became its marketing, and it worked. GTA wasn't just a game you played, it was something that you had to have an opinion on, even if you never touched a controller. Now, by the time GTA 4 rolled around, the series had already hit sort of a saturation point. Everybody knew what it was, but Rockstar still wanted it to grow even bigger, and they
pretty much knew what, if you bought the game, what to expect, what the story was going to be like, what it would center around, and how you would play the game. You know, the open, like it was that saturated in that way. There was nothing that would surprise you or surprise anyone if they bought GTA 4. But it was still going to be a good game. You still want to play the story. You still want to, explore, do things. You know what I'm saying? But still, it did become saturated, and that's a problem a lot of games have. After especially like Call of Duty right now, but I don't know why it's still like fucking popular, super popular, because people are always playing it online and shit. But anyway, so it's always kind of an amazing achievement, in my opinion, when game companies figure out how to make their saturated games still kind of have a spark of unbelievable, like unexpectedness. You know what I'm saying? Assassin's Creed is another very saturated game, and it just took the wrong turn. It went woke and went broke. Anyway,
if they wanted to do that, the series had to evolve. So they leaned hard into cinematic realism, storytelling, and emotional weight, foreshadowing what we'd later see them perfect in Red Dead Redemption. They overhauled systems like driving and shooting, but more importantly, they had proved that this franchise could be more than just satire, crime, and explosions. It could have soul. That shift in priorities ended up paying off, and that game ended up reaching 28 million copies sold. But then came GTA 5 in 2013, and it wasn't just a hit game, it became one of the most profitable pieces of entertainment media ever made. As of 2025, GTA 5 has sold over 210 million copies, with the Grand Theft Auto franchise as a whole crossing 420 million copies sold. It's not just one of the biggest video game successes of all time, it is one of the most dominant media properties in human history, second only to Minecraft. Just to illustrate how absurd that 210 million copies sold number is, the highest selling Pokemon game of all time, Red, Blue, and Yellow, sold 47 million copies. Pokemon, the world's largest franchise, full stop, as a whole, is only 60 million copies ahead of Grand Theft Auto's total copies sold. That is...
Bro, what? What? And remember, like, GTA is kind of, teen and above. There's a lot of people who aren't teens that can play Pokemon, and that's more their like the Pokemon audience is constantly growing in a way. Like, even though adults some adults are phasing out of Pokemon, but not all adults. Because let's be real, there are still some adults that still buy Pokemon cards and still have their old Pokemon collection, just like waiting to sell that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the Pokemon fan base, the Pokemon audience, it's constantly growing because there's always constantly kids being born and learning it, because like even the parents of the that grew up with a Gen 1 Pokemon are introducing their kids to the new versions of Pokemon and stuff like that, and the old versions as well. Whereas GTA 6, like, yeah, you can show your kid, but like it's not meant for that. It's meant for an older audience. Like, teens grow up and then discover it, kind of thing, instead of being, well, A lot, not as many parents are going to be as willing to introduce their children, like grade school kids, to GTA. You know what I'm saying? Versus the type of parents that would do that for Pokemon. Um, but yeah, it's just that the Pokemon fan base is ever growing because of that audience that they target. Whereas the GTA audience fan base it's still growing, but like let's be real, there are gonna be some people that want to play with cute little Pokemon pets versus violence and gun robbery and drugs and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. But the fact that GTA is only 60 million behind Pokemon. Okay, I'm done rambling. Most of my shit didn't make sense anyway.
Is insane. Now,
I was just surprised and impressed.
That dominance comes from Rockstar not chasing trends. GTA 5 did its own thing. It offered 3 protagonists, a massive and detailed map, smart comedy, great controls, and an incredibly accurate take on Los Angeles. But what really extended the game's lifespan was GTA Online, a constantly evolving multiplayer ecosystem that in a lot of ways invented what we see in the live service model today, and it changed the entire gaming industry. Earlier games like World of Warcraft, Team Fortress, and even Call of Duty seasonal DLCs experimented with persistent updates and monetization, but GTA Online was the first to blend Rockstar's cinematic single-player legacy with an open-ended, community-driven sandbox supported by a decade of free content and paid drops. It became a second life for millions of players around the world and a blueprint for how publishers could turn a one-time purchase into an ongoing revenue machine. I mean,
and it's still popular today. You know what I'm saying? It was just like mid last year that a lot of popular streamers were playing GTA Online as their main game. I mean, a lot of them still play it, but like even the more popular ones played it for a hot second. So GTA Online is still like a huge success still.
And as of this moment, GTA 5 Legacy and Enhanced Editions are pulling over 180,000 players combined on Steam. Not counting Epic Games Launcher, not counting the Rockstar Launcher, not counting consoles or any other platforms. And it's
Eat your heart out, Concord, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and whatever else woke failure games are out there.
Continued this pace for over a decade. Let that sink in. We know this wasn't just Rockstar's golden touch because they tried it again with Red Dead Online and it didn't stick, despite Red Dead Redemption 2 being one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time, a massive favorite among fans. The online component never reached the same scale. It lacked the same flexibility, the same energy, the same community buy-in. It's not just about making a good game anymore. It's about making one that people want to live in. I mean, if you guys think about it, Rockstar didn't even plan for what became the game's biggest feature, GTA RP. Through modded servers and third-party tools, players carved out entire identities, careers, and communities within GTA Online, completely independent of Rockstar's original vision. These aren't just small niche servers either. They exploded in popularity on Twitch, became homes for professional voice actors, streamers, and even celebrities, and gave rise to some of the most emergent player-driven storytelling I think we've ever seen in a video game before. While these other studios are trying to spend millions of dollars to manufacture community engagement and force players into predefined seasonal loops, Rockstar accidentally made the perfect sandbox. And the community then turned it into a digital stage. It's living proof that if you give players the freedom and tools instead of a roadmap, well, they'll often build something more compelling than a studio ever could. And I think,
oh my God, sorry, I had to pause it. It's like so freaking amazing. Like imagine GTA 6 gets released, right? It blows up. It's gonna do its thing, right? GTA 6 Online, or like that GTA Online gets upgraded to like GTA to include GTA 6, like a patch comes out for it, and then even the graphics get updated, and you can just access the GTA 6 map if you want and do some extra stuff. Oh my God, bro, this game is about. Yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pause it so many times, but yes, I do. I'm reacting to it. Like I'm ready for this game, bro. Oof.
I think that's what makes this franchise so powerful. GTA is so chaotic, unfiltered, insolent, and intelligent. It, in a lot of ways, mocks the industry that makes it. Even the players that play it and the world it represents, it connects players across all demographics because it offers something incredibly rare in this industry: freedom. It's both casual and hardcore. It can be a cinematic experience, a sandbox of absurdity, or something deeply social. And that's why when GTA 6 finally lands, it's not just going to compete with other games, it's going to compete with everything else. Streaming shows, blockbuster movies, social media. It's going to dominate the cultural bandwidth again. And I think that's the terrifying part for everyone else, because for all the games that we've seen that have come and gone over the last decade, nothing has maintained a death grip on relevance like GTA 5. It is.
Yo, imagine a GTA movie. Like a GTA movie, GTA anime. Not cartoon, because that was GTA anime. But like, just imagine. Now, does it need it? No, because it's fine. It's fine. But it would be great if it was correctly done. Because if it's done incorrectly, it could just ruin the entire series. You gotta be careful with that. It could give a bad impression for the entire series. You have to make sure it's done well. And as far as a GTA movie, I don't know, man. Like a live action movie, I mean, obviously it could be done, but like, it's you gotta be careful with that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
It's been nearly 12 years since the initial release, and it's still outperforming new AAA launches. Rockstar hasn't released a mainline game since Red Dead Redemption 2, and they've remained one of the most talked about studios in the world just off of the strengths of 2 games. That's what real power looks like, and the only thing that I could really compare it to is Valve, and that says a lot. Now, I haven't played a Grand Theft Auto since San Andreas, and I just recently went back to go play Grand Theft Auto 5, trying to get some footage for this video, and it's like a time capsule. It is a time capsule for how games used to feel like to play. The character portrayals, the tight controls, the dialogue, the storytelling, the atmosphere, everything a player wants out of a game or expects out of a game is here. And the elements that we expect the least, well, they just only add to the immersion. The act of playing the game feels fantastic, but then you find yourself golfing, playing tennis, or maybe you're just chilling on the couch watching your favorite TV shows like Kung Fu Rainbow Laser Force, where
or maybe it's just smacking hoes.
Conservative heroes are trying to fight to keep everybody virgins, or Impotent Rage, the liberal superhero that's trying to take down corporate corruption through tantrums while also owning their own multi-billion-dollar company. You know, everybody wants.
Yeah, that's also a badass thing that GTA has. You can sit on the couch and watch a bunch of shows that they came up with or something. That's awesome.
What Rockstar has, but nobody's been able to recreate it. Not for a lack of trying. Dozens of studios have tried to take their shot at being the next big crime sandbox, from Watch Dogs to Sleeping Dogs to Saints Row, and we got a couple of good games out of it as a result, but those results always end up feeling synthetic. They copy the structure without.
Bro, Saints Row was so trash. Like, Saints Row 1 was good. Saints Row 2, I was like, what were you thinking?
Understanding the spirit. They try to capture the edge without earning the credibility. What they miss is that GTA isn't just about gameplay or genre, it's about tone, cultural timing. It's a studio that mocks the very systems it profits from. You can't fake that, and you can't buy it either. The reality of the matter is, Rockstar didn't build GTA with quarterly targets in mind, they built it with an attitude. There's a level of self-awareness in these games that most publishers would kill well before it even left the concept phase, except for maybe Cyberpunk 2077. GTA is one of the last remaining franchises where writing is still allowed to punch in every direction, where the world is offensive, ridiculous, and absurd on purpose. And I think that's what gives it life, because that is life in a lot of.
Real quick, what if Cyberpunk 2077 came out, but like the graphics weren't as heavy as they are, and then they had like the multiplayer versions? Like, I think if done right, it could have been pretty good, you know?
Of ways. That's what makes the satire feel earned rather than forced, and why so many other games end up falling flat. They're scared to say something real, or worse, they don't even know how to. Rockstar has built a reputation for itself, one that we don't normally see in the AAA side of this industry, not just for quality, but for consistency. They rarely speak, but when they do, people listen. Player expectations are through the roof right now, but nobody seems down on the game, and even with all of the AAA flops that everybody's been seeing, well, everybody just has a feeling that this game is going to deliver. And while normally I'm a skeptic, after playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and having played some of their previous games, I get it. There's something deeply human about Grand Theft Auto that no other studio can seemingly replicate. And I don't think people fully grasp how big of a moment the launch of Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. I didn't even realize it until I started looking into the numbers and looking at the data. And how did I not see this coming?
Bruh, GTA 6 is like, I feel sorry for any game that was, or any game company, any studio that was planning to release anything around the time Grant GTA 6 comes out. Like the entire half year, because it's supposed to come out in 2006, right? The entire half year GTA of 2006, no company should try to release anything. They should just patiently wait for GTA 6 to drop, let it do its thing, and then they'll like let the hype die down, and then you know what I'm saying, start releasing. Like if you can't get your game in before that half year mark, don't even bother releasing it. Just don't.
We are talking about a game that is financially, culturally, historically, definitively the game. It is one of the very few games on a very short list that I know almost everybody in the world has either heard about or played. And you can't say that about a lot of games, even if they're not gamers. If I shrink that down to just gamers, everybody's played it. I'm sure there's a few people that haven't. That is a very, very small subsection of the audience.
I get what he's saying, because it's like, obviously even non-gamers have at least heard about it. Non-gamers have definitely played the game. Like I remember, fucking Dr. Mario. My dad doesn't play. That was the only game my dad played when they came with us. Like, bruh, what? like it's kind of like that. Like non-gamers, people who would never play the game, most of them had probably at least played not Doctor Grand Theft Auto.
That's crazy. That's how impressive and significant this IP is, while also being the most controversial and offensive game ever made in a lot of ways. We're talking about a game that sold 220 million copies, bridging the gap between race, age, gender, any definitive trait. Anyone can play and buy this game. And what's funny is that flies in the face of everything that this industry stands for. Because at the end of the day, when any of these companies that are trying to reach a wider audience, and I've talked about this in the past, almost all of them, that boils down to softening the edges, tone policing, or just general sensitivity. And then you look at this game. If you look at the top 10 best-selling games of all time, they're almost all E for everyone or T for teen. And then there's Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
Right there in second place.
There we go.
You know, people dropped their jaws when they saw Black Myth Wukong reach 20 million copies sold in a month. This game...
Bro, Black Myth Wukong, though. That game is still so good. Still. But yes, no, he's ready to say, this game, GTA 6, Black Myth Wukong was 20 million in a month. GTA 6 would probably reach 20 million in a week or less. You know what I'm saying?
It could very well sell 20 million copies in a day. And if they release day and date on PC, they double that number. And that's not the route they're going.
Oh my God, I wish they would release it on PC as well. Like as like the first day release, make sure like PlayStation can have it, but also PC. Come on. I don't want to have to buy a PlayStation just to play that game early. Oh my God, bro.
Going for whatever reason, likely because they want to double dip. It's going to work. You know, I talk about how I don't want these companies to be greedy, but if you're going to be greedy, you have to earn it. Rockstar's earned it.
Yep.
That's how this works. But that's the reason why this industry is terrified of this game right now, because there's no one that is out there, no game that is out there that can stand up to this thing. And that's the bed that they've made for themselves. This game is going to capture conversation. It's going to take over social media, and it's going to blot out the sun in a lot of ways. There's just going to be no getting around it. And because of that, because of how dominant this game is going to be once it releases, well, it's going to cause the collapse of studios, publishers, and games industry-wide. Today,
especially if there is no woke agenda they're trying to push in the game. Because then, like, the woke mafia will look at this game, look how well it's done, and they'll try, I'm sure someone will try to say that it's you know, they'll talk shit about it in a way that makes it sound like the people who have enjoyed it are like misogynist or troubled in some way. But it'll just go to show, it'll further push that gamers, we just want a really good game. We don't want a game with an agenda that's to be pushed. We don't care about your politics and shit in our games. Like, leave it out. Like, games is for kind of escapism. You know what I'm saying? The same reason women go out wearing makeup. Like, they want to escape. They want the world. They want the world. They want to escape from what they actually look like. They don't want the world to see that. Just like when men get home or when gamers get home and we play a game and we just want to escape and enjoy the game. We don't want to think about our day. We want to hide from that shit for a hot second. Just escape and play our game and enjoy that shit. So if GTA 6 comes out and there's no woke agenda being pushed in it, it'll just further show to the woke mafia that, hey, this is what gamers want. A good game with no agenda being pushed. Now, will those people listen? I mean, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Come on, man.
Hey, many companies are in a state of absolute fragility financially, creatively, structurally. In the past couple of years, we've seen over 50,000 jobs that have been lost across the entire gaming industry. Developers, artists, designers, people with years of experience are being laid off in the thousands. Entire studios are being shut down. Projects are being canceled mid-development. Publishers consolidating, pivoting, restructuring, whatever corporate term they need to be able to use to say that we made bad bets and now somebody else has to pay for it. And the games that have made it to release, half of them haven't even been able to find an audience. Some of the biggest AAA launches that we've seen over the past couple of years, games with enormous budgets and years of hype behind them, have turned out to be massive disappointments. Not just financially, but in the eyes of players that they were meant to serve. The trust is gone, the margins are thin, and the cost for failure is higher than ever. So when a game like Grand Theft Auto 6 enters into the conversation, a game so massive, so dominant, and so all-consuming that it can literally reshape the release calendar for an entire year, it doesn't just make people nervous, it makes them panic. Because one wrong move in the shadow of a game like this, that's all it takes. In an article written by Tyler Wilde, a PC gamer, titled "The Specter of a GTA 6 Delay Haunts the Games Industry, Some Companies Are Gonna Tank If They Guess Wrong," says analyst, will GTA 6 release in 2025? That's what everyone in the business wants to know. Tyler Wilde writes, "The near future plans of many game studios depend on whether or not Grand Theft Auto 6 actually releases this year, and making the wrong guess could be disastrous for some of them," says Ben Porter, director of consulting of game industry intelligence firm Newzoo. If you're a game company who's holding its breath waiting for GTA 6 to get out and then it gets delayed by 3, 4, 5, 6 months, what do? Said Porter in an interview with PC Gamer at GDC 2025 this week. You either have to be able to launch in that big black hole that's been left open now, or you have to extend your run date by an additional 6 months. I'm certain some companies are going to tank as a result of that, right? GTA 6 is currently scheduled to launch on consoles this fall. PC is still to be decided, annoyingly, but it's so common for games to be delayed that it's easy to imagine it being pushed back to 2026. Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed, Starfield was delayed, Assassin's Creed Shadows was delayed. Big games get delayed a lot.
I wonder if Assassin's Creed Shadows, they could have pushed it back again to try and actually, finish making the game, or make any changes, like, take Yasuke out, fix the game, and make the game something that will save the company instead of, like, continue to tank the company. But I wonder if they rushed to put it out because they didn't want to chance releasing the game when during GTA 6's reign. I just wonder that.
Common for studios to time their releases to avoid big competitors that are likely to hog the limelight, and there isn't a bigger hog than a new GTA. Even very niche games might want to get out of the way of it, picking release dates in spring or summer of 2026. But if GTA 6 itself is delayed till spring or summer of 2026, those developers could end up having to push their release dates even further out, a setback that could be disastrous for a studio whose finances are already fragile. And given the number of closures we've seen in recent years, financial fragility doesn't seem rare. On the other hand, a last-minute GTA 6 delay could be a big opportunity for anyone who can fill the space with a game that tides over disappointed GTA fans. There's a lot of money riding on what Rockstar decides to do before the end of the year, and not just for Rockstar. One possible clue to the likelihood of a GTA 6 delay is the Borderlands 4 release date, September 23rd, 2025. Why would Take-Two, who owns both Borderlands 4 and Grand Theft Auto 6, put them in competition with each other this fall? Does Borderlands 4 release date mean that GTA 6 is likely to be delayed? It's a sensible guess, but I wouldn't want money riding on it. Porter says there's hope that the games industry as a whole could get a boost from GTA 6's release, which, if nothing else, will probably get a lot of people to upgrade their consoles, but he doubts that the industry execs are all going to be smiles this fall, whatever happens.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, because I was thinking, if they release if PlayStation releases, if first off, if GTA 6 for PlayStation only releases first, and PlayStation releases a GTA 6 console, I'd probably buy it. You know what I'm saying? Then I buy a PlayStation 5. But like, I don't want to buy just like a regular PlayStation just to play GTA, just to play one game. Yeah, it's gonna be, the game people are waiting for. But like personally, I'm not willing to buy a PlayStation just to play one game. Like there's nothing else on the PS5 that I care to play for. You know what I'm saying right now? Like I'm perfectly content with my PC. I don't know, man. Anyway,
You hear a lot of people who are saying that GTA 6 is going to rejuvenate the market, said Porter, and I think there's an element of truth to that, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to be universally uplifting. It'll certainly create an effect. It will put eyes back onto the game's market from investors and things like that, but everybody that we're talking to, their ships are trying to move out of the way of this big iceberg that is GTA 6. Everybody is pulling their game forward, pushing their game back. This strategy is to get out of the way. So if that's what everybody's behavior is, then how do you think that this is going to rejuvenate the games industry? I'm gonna tell it to you guys straight. I think we're gonna see some genuinely unfinished games hit the market very soon here. Rushed out the door, not because they're ready, but because they feel like the clock is ticking. Unless Rockstar publicly sets a firm release date for Grand Theft Auto 6 soon, developers and publishers are gonna start panicking. And if they panic, well, they're gonna panic in the worst way possible by trying to guess. The only good answer here, the only move that offers them any type of breathing room is to launch before Grand Theft Auto 6. Because if you launch after it, well, it's already too late. It doesn't matter how good your game is. There is a very real chance that nobody is going to be paying attention.
For a long
People are going to be
time.
knee deep into Grand Theft Auto 6, talking about it, streaming it, and living in it. Games that
at least for about a year, maybe a year and a half. You know what I'm saying?
launched during Grand Theft Auto 6's window are going to be crushed. Games that launch directly after it are going to be ignored. And the studios that wait too long, hoping the storm will pass, they're gambling with time that they may not have. Some of these companies are already running on fumes. A delay of a few extra months could end up pushing some of these guys into bankruptcy, especially if their only shot at survival fails to land. I'm not being hyperbolic here. It's simple math. We've seen the budgets that these companies have been spending. And what's terrifying is nobody is safe. Not the indies, not the AA studios, not the biggest AAA publishers in the world. Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't just going to be a game. It's going to be a cultural event. It will pull everyone into its orbit, whether they like it or not. It doesn't matter what genre you're in or whether or not your game is live service, single player, or a turn-based cozy farming simulator roguelike. You will feel this game's presence because the players you're trying to reach are going to be somewhere else.
I mean, especially since like GTA 6 will pretty much be a national, if not worldwide, release. Like it'll be a holiday. You know what I'm saying? It might become a holiday for a hot second. Today, let everybody remember, today is the day where GTA 6 was released. And let us celebrate this day every day for at least 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, GTA 6 is going to be... When that shit drops, nobody's going to want really... A lot of people aren't going to really care about much for a year, 2 years. Like, it's going to be crazy, bro.
Now, what's crazy is that Newzoo actually saw this coming. In a 2023 survey, they had found that most players were sticking to older games and older live service games, with Grand Theft Auto Online being one of the biggest ones. And that tells you something. A huge part of the gaming audience is not constantly chasing the next release. They are waiting for the next big thing. And when Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, that group is going to migrate in mass. Whole communities are going to
there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Shift overnight. Streamers are going to jump ship. Player bases are going to crater. Games that were holding on just fine are going to find themselves abandoned, not because they did anything wrong, but because Rockstar simply just showed up. I mean, this is a release that could literally pull people away from their hobbies, away from movies, away from Netflix, away from social media, away from their friends, and we don't actually have any modern data to be able to predict what that impact is going to look like. The last time this franchise released a mainline title was over a decade ago. The landscape is completely different now. Gaming has grown exponentially. Streaming and YouTube have taken over entertainment, and the audience is even bigger and more plugged in than ever before. Whatever impact GTA 5 had, well, let's just raise that by a few exponents. And what makes this all the more unpredictable is the current AAA landscape is weaker than it's ever been. Sure, we've had a few commercial successes. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 made some waves, even though it fizzled out thanks to Activision's ongoing identity crisis. Hogwarts Legacy had a massive year. Monster Hunter Wilds is doing great, but these aren't industry-shifting releases. In fact, Many of the biggest breakout successes we've seen haven't come from the top of the food chain. They've come from the middle and the margins. Indie and AA games that have been filling the gaps from these bloated, over-compromised AAA failures. We haven't seen...
So, like, pretty much like he said, when GTA 6 drops their balls, like their cojones, their gonads, it's gonna be like Rockstar is literally gonna be like, I showed up with my dick out, hands on my genitals, give a fuck about your game, bitch, I'm a criminal. Like, you know what I'm saying? They gonna show up like, just show up and put my dick on the table. Enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, bruh.
What a real AAA, megaton, no misstep juggernaut can do in this era of widespread volatility. But we're about to. And that's actually where I agree with the article. Grand Theft Auto 6 might rejuvenate the industry, but not in the way that they think. If Rockstar sticks to their tone and identity, the things that define Grand Theft Auto 5, if they don't try to soften it, don't sanitize it, don't try to thread the needle with authenticity and ideology, then it could reset the standard for what AAA games are supposed to be. If it meets expectations, that's already enough, but if it exceeds them, if it delivers a polished, boundary-pushing, narrative-rich experience that still manages to retain the soul of the franchise, it is going to blow a crater in the middle of the AAA space. Because suddenly there will be no more excuses, no more we didn't have the budget, no more live service demands compromises, no more we had to design the game for the broadest audience possible. We've already seen this happen. Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 were cultural tipping points. They were both uncompromising games that delivered exactly what players wanted, sometimes more in a lot of cases, and that shifted player expectations overnight. Players want depth, creativity, systems that respect their time, and experiences that don't talk down to them. And let's face it, most of the AAA space isn't built to deliver that. Not anymore. So if GTA 6 clear...
Which is fucking sad. Like, the gaming industry used to be massive. Like, the gaming industry used to be like... The gaming industry used to be blamed for child violence. Like, as if kids could get influenced by games to be violent. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now it's such a little pussy project for the most part, with all these woke people, with all these woke agendas being pushed and everything. And it's like, bruh, like, what is this? What? So it's like, you know, the gaming industry kind of fell off a little bit, and hopefully GTA 6 is here to, you know what I'm saying, once again put their dick on the table, like, this is how we do things. You feel me? Shit.
Here's that bar, or worse for the industry sets a new one, it's going to trigger another wave of discontent. Players are going to start comparing everything to Grand Theft Auto 6. They're going to start asking harder questions. Why doesn't this game feel alive? Why doesn't this game respect my intelligence? Why doesn't this game offer the freedom and polish that Rockstar proved is possible? And a lot of other studios aren't going to have any good answers, which means lower sales, which means more layoffs, and maybe, just maybe, the long overdue reckoning that this industry has been avoiding for years. So yes, Grand Theft Auto 6 could rejuvenate the industry, not by saving it, but by exposing it. We have never seen a game as successful as Grand Theft Auto 5 get a sequel. Take a minute to think about that. The impact of this game, the effects of this game are going to be so widespread and so earth-shattering that I don't think there's a way to properly comprehend just how big this release is going to be. I'm starting to believe that the reason why they delayed the game on PC isn't because they wanted to double dip, though that is a really nice side benefit that they're going to get. I actually think that they might be doing it because they realize the economic strife that this game is going to cause. I don't even know if I'm doing this story any justice. That's how big this game is. Do you guys remember how big Overwatch was? It was everywhere. It dominated everything. Everyone was talking about it.
Not really, because I didn't really give a shit about Overwatch. But at the same time, back then, I was really into League of Legends. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, what game are people really into now that they might not care if GTA 6 drops? I can't think of a game.
Grand Theft Auto 5 was 4 Overwatches. It was 4 Pokemon Blue and Red. It was 5 World of Warcrafts. It was 5 Call of Duty Modern Warfares.
Now I don't know if it was for Pokemon Blue and Red, because like Pokemon Blue and Red was it was like the first time that game dropped. But I mean, even though there was Pokemon Green, but not as many people knew about it.
Like, my brain cannot figure this thing out. This is going to dominate everything. Conversation, TV shows, social media, YouTube, Twitch streams. You're going to see it everywhere. And the industry, as it is today, cannot overcome it. And this is the bed that they've made for themselves, especially the AAA side. Over a decade, not a single one of these studios have been able to make a game that can even slightly compete with what Grand Theft Auto 6 did. 5, sorry. With Grand
That's because they're too busy trying to push their agenda. I know I've been saying it often, but that's exactly what one of the reasons. Like a massive reason why is because they've been too busy trying to push an agenda, being woke and and all this other bullshit. Instead of focusing on making a great game, they've been focusing on making political games that help with current time politics. It's it. Like they lost their way. A lot of these companies lost their way. So Rockstar was kind of silently sat back, like, yeah, see, I ain't gonna mess up like that. I ain't gonna mess up like that. I ain't gonna mess up like that. Well, at least I'm hoping they're saying I ain't gonna mess up like that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Rockstar's been sitting back, looking at the gaming industry as it's grown, and said, "Yo, I'm learning from all y'all's mistakes, and I'm already this massive hit. All I gotta do is stay to my roots, give the people what they want. That's it."
Theft Auto 5 did, except for Ark Survival Evolved. And that sold 1/3 the amount of copies. And I can't believe that these writers and journalists are talking about how this is going to bring the attention of more investors into this industry. That is the last thing that this industry needs. If these morons come in and think that there's a single franchise or company that can mirror what Grand Theft Auto 6 is doing, you have lost your mind. This series is incomprehensible. It's unquantifiable. You cannot touch it. And all of this is riding on the game being good, right? But to be honest with you, I don't even think that really matters, because they could essentially make the exact same game, update the graphics, and throw in a new map, and the game's going to go nuclear.
It still does matter, because people can still return games. I mean, yeah, some people might take even longer to figure out the game was just trash, like a carbon copy trash, if that's the route they choose to go, and they will return it within the time. And then of course they'll also make the videos out there, hey, blah blah blah, don't buy it or return it, blah blah blah. So it does matter in my opinion, especially since Rockstar is Rockstar. It's their name, it's their you know what I'm saying, like their name is at stake, their reputation is at stake. So the game has to be good, because they've made us wait this. Not only did they make us wait this long for it, but they're one of our last bastions of hope. And when it comes to like a great company that makes great games, instead of this woke bullshit, they're not following this narrative to push a woke agenda bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They're still sticking to their roots of making great games. So yes, the game has to be good. It does matter in my opinion. Otherwise, the reputation is fucked, and then people will highly lose trust in them. It could tank everything if this game is not good. If let's say they go a woke route like Assassin's Creed, but they just didn't say anything about it. Yeah. Oops.
And we know so little about this game, which is even crazier. Rockstar has said nothing about the game. We haven't seen really anything so far as gameplay or anything outside of the initial reveal trailer. And it's just going to be crazy. All I know is that I can't wait to see what it looks like. And I can't wait to see what effects it's going to have on the industry, because something this big, it's going to do something. That's for sure. Anyway, tell me what you guys think. Maybe you guys can figure this one out. I'm having a hard time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, share the channel.
Yo, appreciate it. Legendary drops. Well done. That was a great video. I enjoyed it. And yes, I've liked it. I'm already subscribed, and I will share it, because the link to the description, link to the video, and link to the channel will both be in the description below. So be sure to check out Legendary Drops. And let me know what you guys think about GTA 6. Like, what is something about GTA 6 that you want to see in it. Like, do you want a GTA 6 online? Like, maybe not exactly separate from GTA online, but like upgraded to GTA 6 on, you know what I'm saying? Type style. Or maybe there's something inside the story or the game that you hope to see. Let me know in the comments below what it is. And as always, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do. And like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is after that, in case I don't see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace. Much love to you.